Hey y'all, it's me, your favorite pal and your social media platform fanatic right here on the YouTube channel Dr. Do here, alright? So today's video, y'all, I got you guys some more new history right here, y'all. I got you guys another history military video right here y'all would like about, okay? So this war right here is not, if you guys ever heard this war, or you never heard it in your history class, Dr. Dewey here to tell you about this war. This war right here is very different than any other war you guys ever heard of or occurred. The event that happened back in the early 70s, alright? No, it's not the freaking Vietnam War, okay, y'all? Don't you think it's not Vietnam? This is not Vietnam War video, okay, y'all? This is another war which it happened in Vietnam, but however, it's differently, okay, y'all? We're going to talk about the very first communist war in history, alright? The first war between communism against communism countries, alright? We are going to talk about the Sino Vietnamese War, alright, y'all? It better be known as the last Sino Indochina War in history. Okay, y'all? This war is very different than your other wars, okay? Not only in the communist war, but also the fight between two Asian countries that have knives between each other's necks. Alright? Before we get started, I'd like you guys to thank you so much for helping me in this channel to reach 2,200 subscribers on this channel. We almost there to 2,500 subscribers right there, y'all. We need to keep this channel boosting and going up, alright? In order to help my social media platform to be expanded and stuff like that, alright, y'all? So, thank you so much for watching this video, okay, y'all? So, let's look at this story, alright? Let's look at the background of how it all began, okay, y'all? Ever since the Soviet Union leader Joseph Stalin died in 1953 by a stroke, the Soviet Union and the People's Republic of China, led by Mao Zedong, are starting to have a bad relationship ever since Nikita Khrushchev took power of the Soviet Union. Things are gone little hard, but very big hard thing that happened between these countries because of the idea they've been fighting for, communism. They both fought in the name of Karl Marx, who is the founder of communism, believed that everything you see here is against the way that against the revolution stuff. You know, like if you have a violin, that against communism. If you supported free speech, that communism. If you supported rights to vote, that against communism. You get what I mean? You guys know what communism is, right? Good. Alright, so in 1953, Nikita Khrushchev and Mao Zedong decided to no longer become an ally with each other at all. It became known as the Sino-Soviet split of 1953, where both communist countries tried to become a better military power than the other communist country. And so they decided to spread their influence over Asia. Okay? So in 1954, Vietnam tried to declare independence from colonial France by none other than the leader of the Vietnamese rebel group known as Ho Chi Minh, who later became the leader of the North Vietnam. The Viet group known as the Viet Minh are the group that tried to win independence for France in order to make Vietnam a great communist or democracy country in the world and stuff. So France lost their war with Vietnam. Vietnam was split into two countries, North Vietnam and South Vietnam. And things are not as good the way things are in South Vietnam because of corrupt leadership, the persecution of Buddhist monks by US-led Catholic group leadership in that section. Plus, you guys had to go against another group that was forming in South Vietnam the communist group known as the Viet Cong. And so at the beginning of the Vietnam War that lasted somewhere in the 1950 till 1974, when Richard Nixon orders the withdrawal of every U.S. forces out of South Vietnam. And a year later, North Vietnam invaded South Vietnam and became a united country. During that same year, during the same year in 1974 to 75, China and U.S. became more allied with each other because of a common enemy they are against, Soviet Union. And so Richard Nixon announced that, the U.S. government announced that People's Republic of China is recognized as the country, China withdrawing all their equipment, all their support of the North Vietnamese forces out of Vietnam, which made North Vietnam mad about that. I mean, really mad. And Vietnam, after the unification, it allied with itself with the Soviet Union, and Soviet Union tell them, we will protect you from China. We will make sure they would not invade you guys. We will make sure they would not hurt y'all at all. Okay? So, in the aftermath of all that, after unifying Vietnam is South and North Vietnam, but however, they were not as good as you think after the war and unification. Vietnam had to have border clashes with another country that is also a communist country, Cambodia. Cambodia was led by a Khmer Rouge leader named Pol Pot. His reign of terror in Cambodia took the life of a quarter of the country population. Wow, that's sad. Like, more than 2.5 million Cambodians were killed by torture, disease, starvation, or execution, or even for landmines that are still there in Indochina country, which is sad for what Pol Pot did to these people. But God's so awful that I cannot stand that. I don't like people hurting another human. Alright? I'm against those who hurt a person. So, Vietnam and Cambodia have been having the border clashing from 1975 to 1979, when in December 25th, 1978, Vietnam invaded Cambodia, launching a 12-day invasion of the country, overthrowing the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot himself, forcing them to go to Western Cambodia to start a guerrilla warfare against the Vietnamese army and stuff. And Vietnam put a puppet leader in Cambodia as a new leader of the country. And China was furious about that. They were so furious with Vietnam invading a country that is their ally. China was like, what were you thinking? Why are you guys invading another communist country? And you know that my ally country being like, oh yeah, sure, your ally country that's killing millions and millions of lives like you guys did? Ooh, don't you dare, alright? We are trying to build a great society in the name of communism in China. Being like, glorious one, huh? Really? How about this? I'm not going to listen to nothing what you say to me and my army, alright? We will not listen to a big, huge country that think themselves as a big, tough, communist country that dominate Asia, all that stuff. And we will never withdraw our army away from Cambodia at all. And what China respond? War. China had declared war on Vietnam on February 17, 1979, starting the Sino Vietnamese War, the first communist war in history. Now, the invasion forces by China, led by over 300,000 Chinese forces, alongside with hundreds of tanks, hundreds of artillery, and a massive equipment crossing to Vietnam, northern Vietnam. While Vietnam defenders had only a majority of 100,000 regular forces plus 150 militia groups that tried to defend Vietnam as well. it's kind of sad and crazy how Vietnam had that much forces. Back in the Vietnam War, they had millions of forces to fight against the U.S. forces in the Vietnam War. Probably they reduced the population thing because of the situation they having in Vietnam. And also, some of the forces are in Cambodia defending and fighting against the Khmer Rouge and Pol Pot forces as well. So, the war lasted for 3 weeks right there, like from February 17th to March 16th, right? But however, China managed to, when they got into North Vietnam, they took at least 10 or 15% of the territory, including the major city that were between China and Vietnam. China managed to take those cities and managed to break through the Vietnamese forces, but they had to fight the resistance group in Vietnam. There were multiple militia groups trying to make sure that the Chinese forces would not take the capital of Vietnam. Alright? It's kind of important war right here. And also, Vietnam was like, where's the Soviet Union? Why are they not stopping the Chinese forces too, you know? It's kind of difficult for Soviet Union because they don't have no boundary with Vietnam. The only way for the Soviet to do that is to send equipment and military stuff in Vietnam, but it's difficult to get into the Chinese Sea or the other sea that was led by U.S. forces too, you know. And for those who supported China, U.S. was back China in the war against Vietnam, alright? Not with military force, but like some military equipment and stuff, kind of like that. And so within those 3 weeks, Vietnam had no choice but to go being pushed back to the capital itself. But however, in March 16, on March 16, 1970, not March 16, March 6th, alright? China decided to withdraw all of the forces back to the Chinese border. But before they do that, they decided to destroy every equipment, destroy every landscape, including their resources like livestock and stuff. They tried to cripple the Vietnam economy, try to destroy most of their stuff that has in Vietnam, and also forcing the whole entire war to end on March 7, 1979, ending the War of Vietnam. It also became the last war in Vietnam. Okay, y'all? So the aftermath of this war, both sides claimed victory. China claimed victory of destroying their forces, their equipment, their resources, and their livestock, and destroying their economy. While Vietnam claimed that they managed to prevent China to invade Vietnam itself, preventing them from taking the capital of Honolulu, and preventing Vietnam to withdraw their forces out of Cambodia, plus ending the war between each other and stuff. But also, in the aftermath of all that, Vietnam questioned Soviet Union of their mistake of not sending forces to stop China in the invasion itself. And Soviets were embarrassed themselves from not helping the country itself or sending soldiers. They were questioning about their military. Alright? And also, they were lying about being goody-goody about that. It kind of embarrassed the Soviet Union and also crediting their ultimate military power in that region itself. And so, Soviet Union decided to show off their true military strength by invading Afghanistan in 1979, starting the Soviet-Afghan Wars. In 1 year, man, 1 year. It's sad to see how, it's also crazy to see how this war changed everything about communism, okay? China and Vietnam still had the border clashes until 1989. Vietnam decided to withdraw from Cambodia in 1989 on that same year. Plus, ending the Khmer Rouge fight for Cambodia ended in somewhere in the 1990s, and also the death of Pol Pot himself. He died in natural causes. He was not charged for war crimes at all. He being one of the only dictators to not being charged for war crimes. Alright? And there you have it. This history video is very important to listen, alright? This war means everything, alright? This war also brought more relationship between China and US in the late 1970s to this day, maybe to this day, if we don't see China and US go war with each other. I don't want that to happen in this decade. I'm too young for that. So anyway, the casualties were big, alright? The war cost a lot of lives. China lost over 8,000 of their fortune in the 3 weeks war, while Vietnam lost over 150 to 200,000 of their fortune. That's like almost like 80% of their fortune against China. That's sad to see so many casualties that were inflicting on Vietnam, and also including civilian population too. Made this war very sad. It did make this war very sad to see how the ideology can make things work between two countries that had been fighting the same one. But however, the result of this idea caused more catastrophic than ever. Okay? And there you have it. This is a history military video of the Sino Vietnamese War. Thank you so much for watching this video, alright y'all? Subscribe to this channel and hit down notification down below. And I'll letting you guys know, I will make YouTube video once a week, every Monday here, alright y'all? That's the day I will make YouTube video, okay y'all? See you guys next Monday. See you guys on our next video on this channel, Dr. Do here, alright? Peace out, y'all.